You want to be able to say in 10 years, I started and I have never stopped, right? And I was doing better at times, I've been doing worse at times. I was always in it, I always had my intention there. I was never just like, oh, too much for me right now, so I'm just gonna not do anything. You know, I'll get back to it when I'm ready. You don't say that with a relationship, you don't say it with your job. You shouldn't be saying it with your health. In today's world, we are very, very bad at long-term commitments, at doing something over the long term. I mean, I think before it came a lot more naturally, our environment encouraged it and supported it. People stayed in relationships and it was expected that we did, and stayed in jobs also. People stayed in jobs for 40 years. Today, there's just almost an expectation and desire for difference and variety, and we don't want to sort of stick with something for too long. We get bored very easily. This is a problem, right? When we want to try and achieve something that requires a long-term commitment. There's just no way of getting out of it. If you want to achieve something over the long term, you have to commit to it. You have to, right? Overcommitting too soon, that's a problem, right? There are good ways and bad ways to commit. You know, there are functional and dysfunctional commitments. But in terms of functional commitment, I think, you know, if you're going to do something, you're going to achieve something over the next 10 years, 20 years for the rest of your life, right? Which is what the health project is, health and weight. I mean, your calories never stop being counted by your biological system and making you leaner or fatter. This is something we're gonna have to do forever. So this is a long-term commitment. You don't get to not make this commitment either. You're gonna experience the consequences of a lack of commitment to improving your health, or you'll experience the positive consequences of committing to it. When it comes to something like a workout routine, right, I think you come back to the marriage vows, right? You know, in sickness and in health, for better or worse, right, till death do us part. The results that you get, for better or worse, whether you get good results or bad results, you're going to do it. You're going to exercise, you're going to do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the commitment that you've made. You know, you're going to eat to the best of your ability, be managing and putting some consciousness and intention into the choices that you make around your food. For better or worse, till death do us part. In sickness and in health, it's not like, okay, now, I feel pretty poorly, I feel bad, I'm just gonna, the commitment doesn't exist. It doesn't, I say, for better or worse, you're gonna do a better or worse job. You come back to something like someone's job as an example, right? People are committed to going. You know, even if you're sick, the job still needs to get done, right? And you're not just gonna quit. I mean, some people do, but I mean, I guess they don't get very far in life, right? So if someone is in a successful career, it's they've committed for better or worse. Sometimes they're doing better at their job, sometimes they're doing worse, sometimes they're getting better results or worse results, but they're still there. They still keep committing and recommitting and coming back to it. And they keep reinvesting themselves in it to go further. And, you know, I think in successful relationships too, it's like, look, when they get sick, you don't just quit, you don't just leave. All good, amazing, long-term intimacies have had periods of better and worse, you know, and they've been there through this sickness and health. And there's not this kind of to and froing, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. I mean, and so think about what's happening with a diet and exercise routine. It's like, oh, well, I'm doing it, I'm not doing it. So I did it for a little bit and it was good and then I stopped. And that is just not going to work. You want to be able to say in 10 years, I started and I have never stopped, right? And I was doing better at times, I've been doing worse at times, you know, but when I was sick and when I was well, I was still doing it and it was there, and I've had varying results, but I was always committed to something. I was always in it. I always had my intention there. I was never just like, oh, too much for me right now, so I'm just going to not do anything. You know, I'll get back to it when I'm ready. You don't say that with a relationship. You don't say it with your job. You shouldn't be saying it with your health. Your health and wellness behaviours. It's just insane. To think that in 10 years you'll be in a good place if you're to and froing and constantly back and forth. Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Do what you can for, you know, and there'll be better and worse times. But you're there. You're there. You're moving forward in the project, and you're never just still or moving backwards so much. As at least something is progressing. Your engagement, your commitment to it, your excitement about it. You know, you're learning something about it, about the project, about yourself. Something's moving forward. I'm never just completely said, no, I'm going to just rest on that and never do it. And not put any intention or effort into it until I'm ready again. That's my piece on commitment.
That was great. I'm just going to pause it because the sun's gone wild.
So I'm here every week with new insights on how to improve your health, your life, your weight, information and insight you will not get anywhere. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next week.